Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Mm. Let's start. Yeah. Anyone is joining? It's already 8 o'clock. Anyway, we'll start. Uh, so, welcome to this refresh to relax on my topic, that's international taxation. Today, I think you must all have finished your SFM. I don't know how it went, but
Fasting, sir.
sorry, costing is it?
Yes, sir. Paper 5.
Okay, isn't it SFM?
SFM is paper 2.
Paper two. Okay, costing. Fine. So I don't know how it went, but thing is, we should forget about it. Okay, so that's the whole idea about this topic. It's called refresh to relax. So the reason why we decided to do this was now in every whenever you're writing any paper, there are 3 4 stages to this one. One is your preparation, and how your revision goes, and how you execute. And the important about execution is that's the final stage, and you may have prepared well, you may have revised really good, but still, unless you execute it in the right manner, there may be a chance that you may end up not communicating your ideas to the valuer. So that's the reason why we thought, let's have a session. Let's have a session, a small session before the exam, wherein we try to calm your nerves down and to make sure that you perform to your most optimal best. So, optimal best on the day of the examinations. That's the whole point about this refresh to relax. Now, how we are going to frame our discussion today is, first, we will accept what is there in the past, that is your examination, whatever happened, happened. We stop at that. We calm our minds down. Okay, think about what is there on our plate as on today, and then we try to build confidence and courage to the next examination. We do a small quick revision on whatever the topics are there for examination, and then we also go into a general discussion. If you want to ask me any question, you think whether this topic is going to come, or whether this topic is going to come, whether you're going to have safe harbor this time or something like that, we can have a small discussion on that also. So the structure is basically, I have been given 40 minutes to for this session, and we'll try to judiciously use this 40 minutes throughout all the session. The first one I would feel I need to communicate is, forget your past. Okay, you need to remember that your past can't hurt you if you don't let it. Okay, that's a famous quote. I don't know from where I took it, but it's a famous quote. The intention about this is, lot of times what I have seen students is, they always concentrate on what has happened in the examination. They try to evaluate their answers, or they try to feel bad about some answer they've got wrong, or they sometimes, some students feel happy that they have got it, and they forget what is there ahead. So all this might happen. Okay, I'm sure all of the earlier refresh relax means whoever Shetty sir or whoever has come before you would have all explained the same thing. But I just want to stress upon that. Please forget you. What has happened is happened. It is good, good. If it is bad, it is also good. We will learn better from this experience. Okay. So leave today's examination in exam hall. Don't carry it towards the next exam. Don't try to verify your answers. There's no point in verifying answers because the paper is already gone. Don't try to self-assess. Okay, very bad habit. A lot of people have this. They try to put marks to all this and they try to find the arrive at the total marks. Okay, I've also done the same thing when I was writing. There's no point about it. Okay, there's no point. Okay, so there's stop doing it. And don't feel bad. Okay, whatever I have learned so far in my I have 10 years of experience being a CA and then articleship another 3 years. Basically, there is what do you say, there's no chance to feel bad about anything. Everything is an experience, and you have to take it in a very sportive manner. Okay, that is the crux of the whole we say the fact of life, I would say, whatever I have learned. And sometimes don't feel too much happy also. Okay, okay, oh, I got this answer, great. And then you spend, okay, I will watch 2 hours TV because anyway I'll get 60 marks more than this, so I whatever 10 marks I can cover it here. And don't try to oversmart yourself. Be judicious. Exam is not yet over. Trust me, exam is never over until you retire, or until you die also. Every day is a new challenge. In practice also, you get new clients every day. You need to study yourself every day. You need to be in the game, basically. So forget your past first, then calm yourself down. Okay, uh, calm yourself down, take deep breaths. Okay, calm mind brings inner strength and self confidence, so that very important for good health. Okay, at this point in time, you need to be in your optimal health condition. Okay, you need to concentrate, you need to have a full level of concentration, and that's very important. The best way to do it is take deep breaths. That's very helpful. So for example, if I'm going to ITAT hearing or something, I always do this. Whenever I'm facing new judge or some new case, I take deep breaths. And uh, and that's helps me a lot. So I'm sure it will help you a lot also. Eat balanced nutritious food. Okay, don't eat too much oily foods or anything. Keep your health at the most optimum level. Whatever you're doing so far, keep doing the same. You might be having x amount of diet, y amount of diet. Keep the diet. Don't try to improve it. Don't try to keep it constant. Then stick to your sleep patterns. Stick to your regular exercise patterns. Okay, so don't change them. Okay, I can give you an example. After my examination, I felt I didn't do good, and I happened to study. I wanted 3 hours more from my day, so I happened to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning the next day. And then basically, because since I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, I happened to have a fever because of stress or something. I happened to have a fever, and my whole day went because of that. So don't try to experiment with your sleep pattern and all these exercise patterns. Just day before examinations, stick to what you're doing. You may be doing wrong also, but stick to what you're doing. Okay, that's this one. And switch off your all distractions. Don't start any new Netflix series. Don't do anything this what do you say, that cold case Malayali new movie has come. Don't watch all those things. Okay, the war is still there. Means each battles are have to be won. The whole war has to be won. So still keep the momentum going. Try to take micro breaks. Okay, very important, because this examination happens continuously. You need to maintain the consistency. Okay, you should never feel that, oh, no, never feel that like that. No, never feel like that. Maintain consistency, keep up the momentum. Okay, so the best way to do it is every hour take 5 minutes break, every 2 hours take 10 minutes break, have small naps between each topic, so that keeps your mind afresh, and your mind feels that there is something new to learn, something to aspire, and something to hope for. Then confidence and courage. Okay, that's the next thing. So once you have forgotten everything, once everything you're clean plate now, then prepare for the prepare for the next exam, what is there for this one. Okay, now some of you may have studied thoroughly, some of you may not have studied, some of you may not have got time to revise, Okay, whatever it is, okay, accept what is the current state of affairs and stick to it. Don't try to do something new. Don't try to read one more new chapter extra. Okay, so whatever it is, keep stick to your basics. Okay, now whether it is good or bad, okay, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Okay, so so keep your just okay. Some of you may not have studied one chapter. Don't feel that no, I will not give this time examination. I'll just go for the examination, come back. No, don't do all these things. Whatever you have done, stick to it and go for the examination. Okay. The thing is, this is an experience. This is an experience which you need to derive from. Okay. The reason why I'm saying it's an experience is uh, there is no moment in the whole lesson where you will not learn from something. Okay, you may learn about what topics which may come or something like that. So you always take it as an experience and I'm sure you all have gone through a lot of examinations. So that examination stress, I'm sure you might have it, but you can obviously control it. You're pretty well trained in that. And be confident, be courageous. Whether you've studied, whether you're not studied, you've done revision, you're not done revision, be courageous and be confident. Trust me, one examination cannot determine what your future is. Okay. So that is not the way to deal with this. Then remind yourself that it's just an examination and it is crackable. Okay. So it's obviously crackable and it's an examination, as I told. Next one is positive assertions. Keep reminding yourself that you can do this. Okay, you can do this and you will do this. Keep reminding yourself, and that will help you maintain your consistency, courage, and confidence. Okay, and trust me, this is just a beginning. And going in when you come to practice, uh, every day is going to be a new challenge. So you have to learn to accept this. Next, future anxiety. Now, the biggest problem for all of us, including me also, is anxiety. Anxiety is we don't know what is going to happen in the future, and because of that fear, why we cannot control it. We happen to go into a lot of dilemma in life, right? So that is what we have to try to accept, that we cannot control our future. What we can control is one, this is a present, we have this much of time, and we can do this much within that time, and we will do that much within that time. Now, what happens as a result of which is not within our control. Sometimes you may clear, you may pass an examination, you may not pass an examination. That's a different story. But you are able to go through this process and you are able to experience the moment. That is what is more important. Okay, so our anxiety does not come from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control it. So stop trying to control what is going to be the consequence. Just try to control what is within your own hands. Okay, stick to your basics. If you're feeling anxious, just remember that we cannot control our future. Obviously, true for me, true for you, true for everyone else. We must put in genuine effort without worrying about the results. Okay, I'm sure everyone of you are aware of this. The more options and variables you have, the higher the chance of losing track of the main objective or the goal. Okay, try to don't try to complicate yourself. Okay, don't try to if this happens, like I will do like this. If that happens, I'll do like this. Okay, stick to basics. Stick to basics. Okay. Next one is nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. For sure, we will be able to find hope in the future. Next. So these are the general things which I wanted to bring from my experiences. So let's go on to the examination pattern. Okay. Just I'm sure every one of you would have already gone through all these things, but I just want to touch upon the same aspects again so that when you go for the examination day after tomorrow, you should not miss any of these. One, read the questions carefully. Okay, in international taxation especially, there's a lot of difference between what word they use. Not only in international taxation, every examination, it's explain, differentiate, opinion, true or false, all these things. Okay, these different terminologies will be there, so you need to be careful how you interpret them. Please also see the marks allotted to it. Okay, sometimes you may feel that, okay, for 5 marks, why are they asking such simple question? It may not be like that. uh, at the same time, the opposite also may not be true, wherein there may be one mark question, but there may be answer which may be worth 5 marks. So both are possible, but think about the answer. Think about the answer. Okay. Generally, if there is 5 marks, there will be 5 points regarding this one. So read the question carefully, explain, differentiate different terms. Then appreciate that examiner value is also human being. Okay, try to make their life easier. Don't try to jumble up. Uh, 3.2, after answering 3.2, don't go to 3.7. Sorry, 4.7, or from 2.7, don't go to 3.7, because so please understand, this is a case study based this one. So every question is basically, it's first case law is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. That's the order. 2.1, 2.2. That's the order in which they listen. So try to stick to the same order. Whatever case study you choose, just answer everything with respect to that in one place. Okay. Next is multiple choices. Multiple choice questions will be there, and theory. So there will be basically five case studies. Five case studies will be there. Each case study will have 25 marks. You have to answer four case studies. Each four case studies is worth 25 marks. 10 marks is MCQ. 15 marks is theory. 10 marks MCQ is built into 2 marks each for one MCQ into 5 MCQs. So that's how it is basically formed. Now, try to do the MCQs in the first instance. Try to do the MCQs in the first instance so that you don't do anything in hurry, because it's OMR sheet and then you have to color in the appropriate place. So don't miss out. Do the MCQs first. Then start answering the easiest question first and progress to the most difficult one, because the first impression is the best impression. And when you're answering the question, facts, law, conclusion, stick to it. Facts, law, conclusion, whatever it is, facts, law, conclusion. It will make your life easier. It will make the examiner's life easier, and you'll have better presentation of your answers. The examiner, the crux of the whole thing is the examiner has to get confidence that you are aware of the topic. You're aware of the topic. That's the main intention. No one is trying to test you that whether the words used is exactly matching to this one. That's not what we are trying to test here. What we're trying to test here is you need to catch the important point of with respect to law. Then please write short sentences, or preferably go for bullet points. Okay, I've seen students writing in sentences. They, because of stress level or because of so many factors, they end up creating sentences which are grammatically wrong, and grammatically wrong sentences do not go well with the valuers. We feel that if you're writing grammatically this one, this person is not able to communicate. He's trying to fool us by beating around the bush, or some of these notions will kick into the valuer's mind. Okay, so that's why keep it in short sentences. And if you're running out of time, go for bullet points. Go for bullet points. Okay, so I would always means what I will used to always follow is, it is as following, and then I would write everything in bullet points. It is as following. Okay, that's the most easiest to. And also, please stay safe from COVID-19. Okay, don't sleep on the bench. Don't drink water from the place. Okay, don't try to stay in the place for too long. Don't try to drink water from others bottle or anything. It's not that it's wrong or anything, but you just have to be cautious. And don't go too early to the examination center, or don't stay too long in the examination center, because a lot of people will be coming and to the examination center. So you have to be careful and take necessary precautions, whatever it is, and try to stay in a arid room. Okay, so take those precautionary measures, because this is a consistent, you need to perform consistently for longer period of time. Even if you get a slight fever or cough, cold, or it may hamper your momentum. So that's the reason. Then the examination is for 4 hours. It's not for 3 hours. It's for 4 hours. Okay. Don't. Uh, Means you need to be prepared mentally for it. Okay. Have some snacks or something. Have a little bit extra food or something before you go to the examination, because 3 hours is manageable. 4 hours is a little bit extra for anyone's ability. So, and the paper is for 100 marks. So make sure that 4 questions. So not more than 1 hour for each case study. Not more than 1 hour for each case study. So that's the way. That's the strategy you need to create. So 1 hour, one case study, and it is an open book examination. Don't take too many books to the examination hall. Take maximum 2 books. Okay, one whatever you have referred, and if you want to take Income Tax Act, if you are comfortable with Income Tax Act, then only take Income Tax Act. Otherwise, do not take it. Okay, so whatever you're comfortable, your notes plus this one. You cannot carry digital material, but you can carry any written material. So please carry whatever material you're comfortable with. But trust me, any material, whatever you're carrying, it will only help you mainly for the MCQs. It may not be really helpful for the theoretical part, because theoretical part you need to analyze and answer. So since you need to analyze and answer, there will not be any question, any answer readily available in the material. And so there only in material facts will be available. Facts saying that okay, it's 90 days, 60 days, 70 days, 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever. Those things will be available. So you need to know where it is, and then this one. So before you take any book for this one, what I would suggest is you mark it through post-its or something, at least the chapter, main chapter beginnings, so that at least you save some time in which chapter you have to refer or something like that. And carry a ruler, plastic or whatever ruler with you, so that what happens is if you're reading some topic or something, suddenly you're referring something, you can hold a ruler, or you can have the ruler as a reference point to read it. It will make easier when you're referring something very fast. Okay, and please understand that each case study will run 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 pages. Okay, there will be sufficient amount of gap between each lines. Okay, they will make it look like it's very big paper, but please understand, that's the whole point about it. That's a case study, and that's why they're giving you 1 hour extra, so that you're able to face it practically. Okay, so be prepared to read 3 to 4 hours of 3 to 4 pages of facts. Okay, facts. So I always suggest that whenever you read the facts, each case study, make a small note of it, which with the page number. So each question paper will have a page number. So please make a note of facts with the page number, so that you can refer back to that page number. Okay, so earlier the number of marks was higher, so the case loss was much bigger, but now the marks have reduced, and also uh, the depth of the case study is also reduced. It is a little bit comfortable, but be prepared for it. Then assumptions and alternatives, please bring out them clearly, because in international taxation, multiple interpretations are always possible. So you have to bring out the assumptions and alternatives clearly in the examination. This one. and there can be apparent mistakes in the question paper. Okay, please be confident that there can be certain mistakes in the paper, because I've seen a lot of times wherein they would have given multiple choice questions, but there will not be any appropriate or correct answer among the MCQs, or they may be talking about ABC limited in the facts, but when we come to the question paper, they may be talking about XYZ limited. Okay, that kind of correlation difference may be there. Okay, the the paper setter might have missed something in the paper. So please understand that possibility does exist. That question can be wrong. So whenever you have that opportunity, please answer it. Please answer those questions. You will have grace marks awarded to you. So don't think that you are wrong, or don't be underconfident about yourself. But that exam paper setter can never be wrong. No. Paper setter can be wrong. Okay. So these are some of the exam specific topics, exam specific tips for international uh, taxation. Okay, so as I told you, don't spend more than 60 minutes for each case study. So the way what I have seen, so if you take 25 marks, generally 30 to 30% will be very simple. Okay, it will be basically take a fact and answer it. It's always on dot. 40 to 50 marks you need to apply your mind, wherein not to great extent, so to the extent wherein you need to link some provision of the law, and the provision generally will be very direct. These difficult parts will be basically wherein you need to make certain assumptions, or you need to make certain presumptions before you, so that also will be there, but generally 30 to 20%. So when you're deciding some case study, don't be under the impression that I will be able to answer, I should select the case study where I will be able to answer all the questions. No, it may not be possible. Okay, with the given amount of time and the paper being practical, and you may not be having a practical experience with respect to that, it may not be possible to answer all the questions in that. But 60 to 70% of the things generally you can easily answer based on the knowledge which you have acquired from the books itself. Okay, so 60 to 70%. So if you're able to cross, so 15 marks to more than that. Okay, let's say take a threshold limit of 15 marks. So each case study you're confident of 15 marks, go for it. Don't be under confusion. Okay, whether to take this case study or this case study, this case study. Don't be under that confusion. 15 marks or more, confident, go for it. Go for that case study. And then ICI has given reference for quick revision. There is a material which is hosted on this one. It is helpful because they try to give, there is only few chapters are given. So these chapters are given in tabular and this one manner. If you want, you can sure refer that. And then don't try to learn anything new day before examination. If you're not learned anything new, means if you don't learn anything new, you will not lose anything. Okay? Because what happens is, if you try to do something new before the examination, it will upset what you have learned also, and you will not be able to perform also. It's like that story wherein there's a dog which had a bone in its mouth and it was going, and then when it was going, it saw its mirror in the lake or pond, whatever it is, and it saw one more bone. It felt like, no, I want this bone also. So what it did, it opened its mouth, and whatever it had also fell into the water. Right? The story relates to our life. Basically, don't try to experiment or do something new before the examination. Stick to your basics. Okay, whatever you've decided that you will revise, you revise that. Now, generally, there are 4 chapters which carry 60 to 80% marks in international taxation. That is, one is transfer pricing, 2 is non-resident taxation, 3 is double taxation relief, and 4 is overview of model tax convention. These four chapters make up 60 to 80% of the total marks allocated to uh, the whole international taxation. The way you can plan is basically, for example, you can take rest today or however you want, you can do it tomorrow morning, let's say 6 o'clock to afternoon 1 o'clock, you can concentrate on transfer pricing, and after 2 o'clock to evening 10 o'clock or whatever, you can concentrate on non-resident taxation, double taxation relief, and overview of model tax convention. Because generally the time required for chapter 2, 3, and 9 are a little bit higher because they're much bigger chapters. So you can concentrate like that. And day after tomorrow, that is on the day of the examination, you have three small chapters. If you can concentrate on, if you can just have a read at them, then you will be able to completely cover at least 90% of the topics for the examination. So when we talk about examination specific, so just a quick brush is you need to understand when transfer pricing is applicable, okay, A relationships, deemed associated relationship, how to compute arm's length price under different most appropriate methods, what kind of documentations you need to maintain, what are the penalties liable for not maintaining documentation, master file, CBCR, when it is applicable, what is the due date submission of these things, what is the penalty if you're not filing master file CBCR, assessment before the transfer pricing officer, and how do you file objections before DRP, what is eligible SSC under that, how do you do secondary adjustment, and what is the concept of one-time settlement under the secondary adjustment, thin capitalization, when does thin capitalization get triggered, what do you mean by advanced pricing agreements, how do you enter into those advanced pricing agreement, what is the validity of advanced pricing agreement, what is a notified jurisdiction area, when do you trigger notified jurisdiction area, was there any notified jurisdiction area earlier notified by income tax department, and what anything and with respect to mutual agreement procedure, what is map process. So these are some of the topics where you need to concentrate where you need to concentrate your this one. The examiner is basically going to test you on all these things. Does this person know what is map? Is he able to apply mapping when if it comes practical? Or does this person know what is master file CBCR? Does he know when it is applicable? So these are the view. The main thing you need to understand from a valuer's perspective is they're trying to make sure that you are aware of these topics, and if you happen to get these in practical circumstances, are you able to answer them? That's the main objective, and you should be able to meet them. One thing about safe harbor, what has happened is it has not been prescribed for financial year 2021. Okay, so there is a confusion whether it is still applicable or not applicable because government has not come up with the guidance. So what I would suggest is it is not applicable as of now for financial year 2021. So obviously your assessment is 21-22, it is not applicable for that. But just have a brief read about safe harbor, the concept of safe harbor, because even though they may not test you exactly, okay, what is a percentage of safe harbor or this one, they may test you, okay, what assessee has options for, can assessee go for safe harbor if the need requires, or something like that. They can ask you in that manner instead of asking you this percentage, that percentage. The theory of safe harbor is relevant. The percentages may not be effective as of now. So that is with respect to transfer pricing. Okay, that is one of the major topics of international taxation. Then you have chapter 2 and chapter 3. Please understand, please read non-resident taxation, double taxation relief, and treaties together. All of them are actually have to be read together. what I'm trying to say read together is basically your section 9 is connected to your section 9 is basically connected to your article 5 or article 7, okay, or your residential status, what is section 6 is connected to article 4 of DAA. So these are all actually interconnected topics, okay. So when you're studying this one, you study them in a lot, that is chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 9 together. That will make sure that you have a holistic view of what it is, and you are able to revise it quickly also, because all of them are connected to each other. So chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 9, I would say, one is residential status, concentrate on that, company's residential status especially, and that the concept of poem. And the hot topic is basically everything they want to give. Okay, what happens if there's a poem? They will give you a fact or case study. They will ask you what happens if there is a poem. Okay, that's a that they're trying to link everything together, so that is very important. Then scope of taxation, section 5, do not forget this, very important. uh, then section 9, deemed to accrue or arise, that is article section 911, 915, 916, and 917, and 918. So very important sections for this. Exemptions, there are a lot of exemptions. Newly they have given a lot of exemptions. This one, for example, that units located in international financial services center, okay, there are a couple of exemptions given there, so be comfortable with that. Be comfortable to convert foreign currency into INR for the purpose of taxation. Be thorough with that. You have rule 115, you have rule 26. Be comfortable with that. Then there are certain special presumptive taxation provisions applicable for under business income and capital gains. Be comfortable with that, because as you are aware, special provisions override general provisions, and especially for non-resident, whenever a unique provision given, you have to always apply the unique provision. Do not apply the regular provision unless otherwise they themselves have given a carve out of the section. There are certain special taxation regimes which are applicable for non-resident and NRI. Please be comfortable with that. The tax rate which are prescribed under these sections actually override the general taxation rates which are there. Next, there is a withholding provision which is practically very relevant. Section 195, your form 15CA, form 15CB, very important from examination perspective. Then the concept of representative SSC, okay, because whenever you're talking about a non-resident, the government cannot go catch the non-resident. It is very difficult for government to go and catch it. It's very expensive affair for them. So that's why what do? They try to catch a representative person of the non-resident in India for the purpose of taxation. So you need to know who is a representative SSC. When can someone be considered as a representative SSC for the purpose of taxation? Very important, because the computation mechanism or the assessment enforceability happens on that person. Then you need to know total income computation. The total income computation will not be as complicated under as given under the direct tax, that is paper 7, but here you need to be aware how to calculate total income for a non-resident. So don't ignore your tax rates. Please understand your tax rates, surcharge, and education says don't forget that, because 15% is a maximum surcharge for 111A, 112A, and 115 AD. So these things, do not forget it. And when you talk about resident, there is no concept of senior citizen when you talk about non-resident. 87A relief and certain health insurance benefits, all these things, certain benefits are not there for non-resident. So please don't forget your basics. That is very important. Then section 90, 90A, 91, ignore 91, 90 and 90A, study that. Important thing is applicability. When will a non-resident, means when will a person be eligible to take foreign tax credit? very important. Eligibility, that is, you need to have TRC, you need to be resident of one country, any one of the DDAA country. You need to have TRC, you need to prove the residency, then only you can take the benefit of this. And if you talk about 91, whichever is higher, sorry, whichever is lower, that is the tax rate multiplied by the foreign income. So that formula is very important. Your form 67, that you need to file it, and unless you file it, you will not be able to claim the foreign tax rate. These practical aspects are very important for this. So this 90, 90 and 91 is actually chapter 3, but you have to read that together with the this one. That is your chapter 2 and chapter 3. Then chapter 9, stick to UN model. Okay, if you have studied OECD model, okay, good. If you have not studied OECD model, don't worry about it. Okay, you may 3 marks, 4 marks maximum, but majority of the questions will be on the UN model only. 99% it's UN model. Okay, then that is one type of question. They will say that please refer to UN model and answer. That is one type of question. Second type of question is they will reproduce the DAA. They will reproduce the DAA and they will say, okay, refer from the DAA and then answer. Okay, so both types of you can expect, but majority stick to your UN model. The principles under UN model are always what the examiner is going to test you on. Okay, so Article 1, when DAA is applicable, you have to be resident either in one country. That's most crucial. And partnerships and your tax transparent entities, very important. Article 1. Article 2, simple taxes covered. Article 4, who is a resident? When do you break a tie between when there are dual residency concepts? That is Article 4. Article 5, business income. Article 5 and 7, business income, very important, because permanent establishment, what types of permanent establishment we have regular permanent establishment. After that we have certain examples. Then after that we have certain exclusions out of permanent establishment. Then we have service P, then we have construction P, and so these things are very important. Article 7 is business income. That is also very important in terms of this one. Royalty, FTS, Article 12, 12A, and interest. Actually, all of them, so 12, 12A, interest, all of them are similarly worded. So you can actually study one thing and see the definition for the other thing, and that will actually pretty much cover the whole thing. And taxation of capital gains Act, Article 30. So you have to be comfortable with these articles. These are the main articles which you have to be comfortable. Now, just don't read these articles in isolation. Please understand from a non-resident perspective. Under Income Tax Act, what happens? Under DTAA, what happens? You need to be able to bridge these things. You should be able to coherently read both the things. That is, under, for example, under Section 911, capital gains is taxable, but under Article 13, it is exempt because they're able to take the benefit of DAA. Okay, that kind of interpretation or that kind of reading is very important when you talk about this one, because all the case studies are mainly based on those things. They will first give you a case study, they will ask you whether it is taxable or not. So you need to be able to interpret them. Then other small topics are basically advanced ruling, e-commerce transactions, and your black money law. Advanced ruling is pretty small. It will take, if you have done your revision, it will take half an hour to revise. That's all it will take. What are the major things in this? One is who can apply for AR, and what is the application filing process, fees, how much you have to pay, and when your application will be accepted or disqualified, and how is the AR ruling binding. Currently in this Finance Act, there are a lot of changes in the AR, but it is not applicable to you. It is applicable from the next, that is financial year 21-22. So don't be under any kind of confusion whether AR is applicable, AR is not applicable. As of now, for you, it is applicable, but from financial year 21-22, things are going to change. Okay, not for you. Your whatever is there in the material is applicable. Then e-commerce transaction, please have a understanding of there are two types of e-commerce transaction. First thing you need to understand is why e-commerce is applicable. Why did the government bring in the concept of e-commerce transaction? You need to know advertisement equalization levy, e-commerce equalization levy, link it to your 194 O, and when equalization levy is applicable, when does the 2% apply, when does the 6% apply, if 6% is applicable, when whether 2% is going to apply or not. This kind of comfortability we need to have. If equalization levy is applicable, whether is it exempt under the regular provisions, or whether it is still taxable there, or if some income is taxable under both equalization levy and income tax act, which is preferable. All these things you need to be able to link them. Okay, when you talk about equalization levy, there may not be any case laws or anything with this one. What is important here, equalization levy, is you need to be able to apply it, and you need to practically use it. As in, which form number one, when do you have to file, what is the due date for filing, how does the assessment under equalization levy happen, how does the penalty, what is the penalty, what is the if there is 1 day delay in filing, what happens. So those things you have to be comfortable when you talk about equalization levy. So that is a practical procedure. That is what you have to be comfortable. Okay. Next, when you talk about Black Money Act, Black Money Act is bifurcated in two parts. One is computation mechanism and one is assessment mechanism. Under computation will require some amount of time. So if I would say, so if you put, if you take this on the last date, that is the date of examination, then advanced ruling will take maximum 1 hour. E-commerce, studying e-commerce transaction will take maximum 2 hours. Okay, that's how much time it will take, because one is 6% levy, one is 2% levy, and both of them have common procedures. So that will take another around 2 hours. So you, after that, you go for a break, go for take a break, and then have a break for something and come back, and then concentrate on black money law. Go for computation mechanism first, because that is a crux of the black money, because that is something very new for you guys. You may not have practically seen it. So understand why black money law was introduced, understand the computation of undisclosed foreign asset. That is very, very important, because undisclosed foreign income is known to you, undisclosed foreign asset is unknown to you. That's something new for you. So that is, you have to concentrate how to compute the value of it, and then how to assess it. For example, if the assessee has sold the asset, what happens? If the assessee has sold it and then invested in a new asset, what happens? Okay, so, and how do you convert equation means foreign currency into INR? So that concept you need to be thorough. And then deductions from the equation, so deductions from the undisclosed foreign income and assets, and then arrive at the total undisclosed foreign income and asset multiplied by 30%. So, and that is the whole computation mechanism. You should be comfortable with that. There may not be some very complicated questions, but there will be questions with respect to applicability in computation. Applicability important is, who is an assessee? Is a resident assessee? Is a non-resident assessee? Whether a resident who was purchased when he was not resident assessee. So this question will be there. You have to be comfortable with that assessee. Who is an assessee question first. Second one is computation mechanism. You have to be comfortable with that. Then assessment. And you need to understand the assessment mechanism is very similar to Income Tax Act. However, there are certain differentiating factors. This differentiating factor is something which is going to come for examination, not what is common between Income Tax Act and Black Money Act, because they know that what is common is common. There is no problem. Everyone can understand. What is unique is something what is important. For example, is there a time limit to issue notice? If the notice is issued, what is the last date for completing assessment? Okay, if the assessment happens, what is the interest? What is the penalty? What is the prosecution? Okay, so these three things are important from assessment perspective. Out of, if you don't if you're running out of time, I would suggest concentrate on computation and assessment part. You can take a chance with penalty and prosecution, but assessment and computation, if you're comfortable with, 60 to 70% of black money law will be covered at least. So that is with your chapter 15. So effectively, so tomorrow first half, then tomorrow second half, and day after tomorrow first half. So bifurcate it into these three blocks, concentrate each topic in these three blocks, and then you will be able to crack the paper. Okay, so that's what I wanted to discuss. And any questions from anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so all the best, guys. Okay, be confident. Okay, and stick to your basics. Don't try to discover something new or anything. Stick to your basics. Be confident and stay healthy. And that's it. Ready for the examination. Make everyone proud. Make yourself proud first. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Okay. All the best, guys. So I'll close the session.